Judge Lauren gets slapped on paternity court.
You are not.
I knew it!
Thank you!
Thank you!
I knew it!
I knew it! I told you! I told you! He's a liar! No, he's a liar!
And I know who the
I
daddy
told
is.
you! I told you!
I know who the daddy
Thank
is.
you, Judge! Thank you! You better
Pipe yourself down.
Don't put people off. You don't use profanity in my courtroom.
Mr. Wallace, get out the court. You
What are you gonna do
sorrier
about
than
it?
I thought you
Let's
were.
go.
Get out of the courtroom, Mr. Wallace.
Miss Reed, the glamorous wife of Mr. Rennell, was in paternity court after finding out that her hubby was running in his Mario Kart. Getting women pregnant around the city, she seeks a paternity test and $5,000 for alienation of affections. Miss Austin defends her reputation, asserting that her husband was indeed the father.
Mrs. Austin, she said, I'm Raniel's girlfriend. I said, Raniel's girlfriend, did you know that Raniel was engaged to me or whatever and just had a baby? She said, no. I packed my things and I left with my 2 kids at the time. I went and stayed at my aunt's house. Raniel called my aunt's house several times trying to apologize for what he has done.
Miss Reed narrates her shocking discovery of Miss Austin's relationship with her husband, Rennell. Despite forgiveness, Rennell's repeated betrayal strains their marriage. However, Miss Austin justifies her involvement, blaming Rennell's dissatisfaction with Miss Reed. Classic, isn't it?
When I met Raniel, they was not married. He nor told me that they was engaged neither. I found out on Facebook that Raniel and Mrs. Reed was married when she posted a picture up there of their marriage life. That's when I found out. And yes, I did confront Raniel about the marriage.
But wait, Miss Reed wasn't only dealing with the whole mistress situation. Apparently, Mr. Rennell also had a girlfriend on the list, whom to have claimed a baby by him. Seriously, this case gets as messier as it can be. Let's dive into that.
What brings you to court today? What would you like to add?
I also have found my old child by Mr. Wallace that he claims he's not the father of.
You also have a 5-month-old child that you say was fathered by Mr. Wallace, but he's denying that child as well.
Yes.
Mr. Rennell denied both the babies, claiming they didn't have his features. Well, his reasons? Both the ladies have been seeing other men during the window of conception. But, like, seriously, this dude had his wife, girlfriend, and mistress all in the same room.
You married to Ms. Reed,
Yes,
but you were sleeping with Ms. Austin.
yes.
You had a baby with Ms. Reed. 3. You might have a baby with Ms. Austin.
Allegedly.
You busy.
Now that's a case we rarely witness in paternity court. So, in an attempt to bring closure to this paternity square, judge decides to read the results for both the women, hoping to bring the closure that Miss Reed longed for months.
Mr. Wallace, you are her father.
Told you, dummy. She looks just like you, dummy. Everything, dummy.
You sitting there saying that, but you wishing on strength. Sorry.
No,
Yes.
not really.
Soon after the results were announced, Miss Austin called herself the new Miss Rennell. Well, that wasn't a good time for making that claim, as we have 2 other contenders on this list for this man. Let's just see what happens next.
Ms. Austin,
I
found
soon
out-
to be Miss Wallace.
I'm sorry.
Soon to be Miss
Correction.
Wallace.
Oh my God!
Correction! Raniel told
Oh
me
my God.
that he wasn't marrying anyone else. Sorry, so I'm sorry
wanted me
that
to
he
wipe
went
something.
Raniel told me. Kill Diddy.
Ho! Boy, even though Mr. Rennell had kept his marriage a secret from both the ladies, they all went bizarre after him. But wait, our man of the hour told the court that he did all that because his wife, Miss Reed, was also promiscuous. Now that's gotta irk a nerve.
She cheated on me. She slept with my friends.
He said
She
he
is
moved
a
your
whore.
friends.
She has about 6 boyfriends right
Let's
now.
get some order.
You don't come on here and try to act like
Hold on,
you
Mr.
so perfect.
Wallace, you're not gonna dress a woman in this courtroom that way. You better pipe yourself down.
So picture this crazy love triangle drama unfolding in the courtroom. Miss Brown was tangled up between Mr. Thomas and some co-worker. The defendant was throwing doubt on the paternity and denying if he ever promised to marry the plaintiff. Hence, folks, The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife.
Mr. Thomas, now set the record straight. Did you or did you not promise to marry Ms. Brown after you found out she was pregnant?
Your Honor, the devil is a liar. I never promised to marry her, Your Honor. The reason why this case affects me so much is because I never had a father when I grew up. I had to go through a lot.
All right, so Mr. Thomas was up there swearing on everything he never promised to put a ring on it. He throws in a random Martin Luther King reference, making things even weirder. Denies. He didn't have any of Miss Brown's claims and called her manipulative. If that isn't an ideal scenario for a showdown.
There's no hope for it. It's nothing but bad people down there. And this is why.
What does this have to do with?
I'm trying to tell you, Judge Blake, because this is why she acts the way she
Words
acts.
of manipulation.
This is why she
Words
acts the
of
way she acts.
manipulation.
Okay,
It's iniquity
so
in the land.
Now it's Miss Brown's turn to spill the tea. She spills it all. Thought Thomas was the daddy, wanted that marriage life, even moved cities for a fresh start. But guess what? Thomas went chasing after other women. It's like a heartbreak anthem playing in the background as she opens up.
We told them that we was gonna get married, we was gonna do this.
Never
Although
said that.
that's a lie, you are
said
such a
that.
liar.
All right,
And
let's
the
get some
Lord,
order.
as you just
Let's
said,
get
the
some
devil
order.
is a lie. You are the devil and you're lying.
Ms. Brown!
But let's rewind a little. Miss Brown and Mr. Thomas met at work and got an eye for each other until another man came into the picture. Aw, man! Accusations were flying left and right, yelling, and nobody who was winning this drama war.
We were in a relationship. We was in a monogamous relationship.
Don't talk to me.
Okay, was she talking
I
to me?
was talking
Thank
to
you.
her.
I don't
We
care,
was
but you
never in a
interrupted me, so you need
relationship.
to
I
anyway.
cannot hear.
Never.
You know what? I got a lot of other things I could be doing right now than listen to two grown people talk over one another.
Miss Brown lays it all out. Her kid, Legend, had no daddy figure, heartbreak vibes, and her son straight up asking about his absent dad. You can feel the emotions as she bares her soul, wanting to make things right for her little one. Come on!
It's been 3 years, going on 4, and he promised that he was gonna be there. When I found out I was pregnant, we said we was gonna get married and we was gonna do this. Now, we probably was not completely in love with each other, but I was willing to do it for him. And
Mr. Thomas, on the other hand, was like a stone wall. He was all cool, claiming he'll love the kid no matter what, but he just wants Miss Brown to back off because of her promiscuous past, which she did confess. Anyway, the defendant denies any connection. It was like emotional poker with a straight face.
You admit that you were in a love triangle.
yes,
Hello.
So that has 3 points.
yes.
1, 2, who's 3?
The
A
third
co-worker.
person who I was in
Somebody
a
worked
relationship.
at the job
The third
with us.
person who I was talking to. Me and Eric, we was just friends at first, okay?
Okay.
Okay, all right. Now it was time for Judge Lake to mend all those broken promises which were made. So was the defendant scared of being the father, or Miss Brown was holding a secret indeed? Brace yourself for the jaw-dropping revelation that's about to hit the courtroom.
Mr. Thomas, you are his father. Mr. Thomas, you've now found out you have a 3-year-old handsome little boy that you have never
His
seen.
birth certificate and show that he is his father.
Mr. Bell, after playing the role of baby daddy for almost 18 years, dropped the bomb on her daughter, claiming he's not her bio dad. Now that's gotta shatter the unicorn dream. To set the record straight, he comes to paternity court defending his owner.
Ms. Others, why do you believe your father is denying?
Your Honor, I really don't know why he's denying me now after 18 years, but it really truly hurts a lot because all I known him as my father growing up.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I gotta interject because not once in her 18 years have I ever denied her. Not once.
It all began with allegations swinging like a pendulum. And guess what? Mr. Bell's got some suspicions based on a not-so-honest incident from the past. You want to hear this part. Feels like we were trying just to navigate through the lies.
My daughter was about 2 years old. She and I became intimate again, and she wound up pregnant. So, of course, I'm being excited. I'm there for her. When the baby is finally born, my sister and I go by to see my daughter and the new baby. There's a doorbell, and somebody's at the doorbell. She never answered it. The doorbell rings again, and I'm like, are you going to answer the door? And she was like, well, no, I'm not going to answer it.
What? Can you believe that? It's like, wow, that's the plain truth right in front of our mom. But hold on, do we have any way to explain ourselves? Or are we just stuck in another round of lies? Let me tell you what happens next.
Also knew that there was a possibility that there was another man involved.
That is not true.
Yes, it is,
That is
Your
not
Honor.
true.
When both men
That's
were
why-
at the house after the baby was born, it was no big thing to you because you had already told both
I
of them.
told both of them that there's a possibility it could be Kevin, and a possibility it could be the other dude.
Oh geez, it's really hard to trust either of them at this point. But before we go to the next step, we've got to ask Miss Others all the important questions. We want to be sure and have no doubts about what she's saying in her testimony, you know?
Were you intimate with anyone else during the time your daughter was conceived?
No, Your Honor.
So you were only with Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Bell, were you present? Were you a part of this birth? Did you attend doctor's appointments? Were you at the hospital when Tiana was born?
I was there when she was born. I was.
Did you sign the birth certificate?
Yes, I did.
All right, now that the statement has been clear, let's check if Miss Others has been telling the truth or not. And hey, don't overlook the fact that this whole paternity mess has been happening for about 2 decades. Now, here's someone else giving us more straightforward information.
You believe that she's your son's child?
I believe there's a possibility.
A possibility?
Yes.
But you also
Because he
believe
was
that
there.
her mother could be lying again?
Yes, most definitely.
I'm not lying.
Because
I'm not
she
lying,
is a
Your
liar.
Honor.
What about 4 kids, 4 baby daddies? That's not lying?
That doesn't
Okay,
make me a
okay.
bad person.
I didn't say you were bad, I said you were a liar.
Oh boy, the supposed grandma seemed pretty upset with the baby mama's actions. Apparently, in the past, another child was claimed, and Mr. Bell's wasn't the father then either. But will the hidden envelope contain what Miss Others wants? Or has the mom been lying all these years?
Mr. Bell, you are not.
I knew it!
Thank you! Thank you!
I knew
Thank
it!
you! I knew it! I told you! I told you! He's a liar! No good liar!
And I know who the
I
daddy
told
is.
you! I told you!
I know who the
Thank
daddy
you.
is.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you so much. Told you, Tiana.
Oh wow, what a shame. This woman has been lying to her daughter her whole life. That's just crazy. But, you know, the truth always finds a way to come out, and today was the day for Miss Others' mom.
Do you understand when you speak with that type of certainty, your daughter thought that you were sure? She has projected dislike, mistrust, everything else over on these people because she felt like their denial of her or their question of her and their accusation that you possibly could be lying.
All right, drama peeps, I'm bringing you another classic from the paternity archives. Miss Chappelle came to paternity court, wanting to prove that her daughter indeed is the doing of Mr. Todd. And once that's done, she was looking for some fast cash. I mean, child support. But wait, our defendant stands tall with his fiancée. Yikes!
I had a job, Your Honor, and he was babysitting the baby for me. And after he didn't babysit anymore, I had to start paying $75 a week. So I had to quit my job, and I don't have a job anymore. And here's my papers right here.
Things quickly turned around into an argument between Mr. Todd and the other person. Mr. Todd said their connection wasn't romantic, more like a situationship. Now, let's dig into that part of the situation. We might find something interesting. Take a look.
If you were having sex and she got pregnant, were you using protection every time?
No. The time when we met, I was pregnant.
But
we never used.
when we met, she was pregnant.
She was already pregnant with a baby. But he accepted me with
But
me
the
and my
other
baby.
thing, while Lisa,
With someone else's baby.
What type of relationship is this? They openly admitted to being with more than one person. Ms. Collins, are you here? Mr. Todd had the guts to admit he cheated. There's no need to brag about everything, sir. Come on!
You were having sex with other people in addition to Mr. Todd during the window of conception?
No, Your Honor.
She a liar.
She was not even in the picture, Your Honor, so she has nothing to do with this. We was
what
together
picture that
here.
was?
2011, I was pregnant with someone else, baby. Our baby was already here when they met, Your Honor.
All right.
Here's the twist. In this already tricky situation, Miss Collins let Miss Chappelle come live with them, all for a specific DNA test they had in mind. Just your typical household situation, right? Nope, it was more than that. But we must appreciate the hospitality, right?
She's mad that we're together. That's why she cares.
I care less about them being together, Your Honor. What we're here for is the DNA, about the kid. That's what I want to hear. That's the only thing I want to know. Is he the father of my baby? They can have each other. I don't want them. I want the blood test for my child.
While that might seem logical, the situation gets more complicated because Mr. Todd was at the hospital when Miss Chappelle gave birth. The doctor said interesting things about the baby looking like someone. Will this detail be important in figuring out the mystery of who the father is?
Once I got in there, the doctor said, who is the father? What one of y'all the father? I said, who it looked like. The doctor said, it looked like my friend.
No, it said your
On
brother.
God.
It said it looked like his brother.
That's on God.
It said it looked
On
like
God.
his brother.
No.
He had his two brothers with him and said it looked like his brother.
Let's get some order.
Hold up. People, you guys are in a courtroom, not your backyard. Anyway, it was tough to explain how both plaintiff and defendant had been in relationships with each other and others. It was a complicated situation, and yet came another bomb.
I'm messing with my girl who I was with for 8 years.
All right, listen,
But she wasn't
Years, not my baby mama.
Listen. Y'all playing tic-tac-toe or something.
Yeah,
I mean, you just here, there, everywhere. What?
But this is his baby, he know it.
Can we keep things civil and stop all this yelling? The constant accusations are becoming too much. Let's focus on the paternity results to change the mood. How about that? So, here's the final decision by your favorite paternity expert, Judge Lake.
Mr. Todd, you are not the father. And you're smiling, Miss Chappelle?
Yes, because at the end of the day,
this
is his child. What they did, they say, I ain't having sex with no one else. And I know this is the only man I was messing with at that time.
Yep, I know it.